guys, Migs here, and today we are finally back after a long little break between the holidays and everything like that, but it is now 2020. I have so much to update you guys about before we go ahead and get started with today's video. But before I do all of that, I want to thank you all for an incredible 2019. I'm really hoping 2020 will be just as good, if not better. Definitely going to be better because once we finish this little headache, we're going to be able to do so much stuff with it. And I have something in the works right now. I'm not going to even hint to what it is yet, but it is definitely something really, really cool. But as you guys know, it's been like a week since I've last uploaded, and before that was like another week. Just been taking it super easy around the holidays, but I have been working on this thing. I've just been doing a ton of stuff off camera because I really don't want to bore you guys that much anymore. We're just working on it like crazy, trying to fix stuff and fine-tune everything and record everything that I do with it. So I went ahead and on my own time, I just came in here and got some stuff done, which I'm going to show you guys right now. So first of all, I guess we'll just start up here. Little thing, I wired up the kill switch to the toggle switch so much better. Before I had this switch right over here, and it was just like the old motorcycle one, and it would just rotate around and stuff like that. And sometimes from all the vibrations, it would kind of turn off just from, you know, twisting around. But that is so much better, so much more accessible. So if I need to turn off for whatever reason, I can just reach over, flop it down, and this thing's cutting off. Next up, as you guys know, the mount that I had it welded to the frame. But I really want to have the mounts kind of removable. So what I did is I took that completely off and I added a little mount right here, mounted straight to the frame, right through, and then straight through the mount. And this thing is way more solid than before, that's for sure. I used to have a problem with this weld snapping. I honestly don't know what material this is. It looks like aluminum, but it's magnetic. So that makes me think it's steel, but it doesn't weld nice for whatever reason. Everything else on this frame welds strong. It may not look nice, but it welds strong. But this one would not really stay very strong. So I'm definitely not really 100% sure what material that is, but this mount is so nice. I mean, I'm moving the whole cart right now, and it's solid. If I did that before, it'd probably snap. But next up down here is a big thing. And if you follow my Instagram, you guys would see that I mess with the whole Sprocket system. So as you guys know, a little while ago we took out one link to try and not have a tensioner on this thing because I couldn't really make one that worked well. So we did that, and the chain didn't need the tensioner and it was drivable. But what you guys may not know is that chain was rock solid. Like, I kid you not. It was like as hard as that. Like, I can knock on it, it would have had no flex whatsoever, and that makes a ton of stress on the jack shaft and the sprocket and everything like that. And it built up so much stress that the sprocket on the axle actually ripped through the mount, the hub that's on the axle with the keyway and everything like that, clamped down and everything. It ripped through all the bolts. So I brought it in here, I took off the wheel. You guys know the whole situation with the sprocket and everything. You got to slide everything around and everything, but went ahead, got the hub completely all good to go, made it nice and centered, put in a ton of bolts, way more than last time. I definitely didn't put in enough than last time, but right now it is solid. I got nice big ones in there too, so definitely shouldn't snap those. And at first, I made a little tensioner with a small chain roller, actually off of the RM, an old one from the build, and that actually worked awesome. I took it out around the backyard and it was riding great. But the only thing was, it didn't last very long. Because of this chain is so big, and it was really for a dirt bike chain, it didn't really last. So what I have going on here is, I bought some skateboard wheels, and basically I got this idea from Cletus McFarlane. Probably all of you guys know him, awesome YouTuber. But with their 1000cc powered golf cart, they used a skateboard wheel to tension their wheel. And that is exactly what I did. I haven't tested this one yet, and I know that a lot of you guys are going to say that it should be on the top and everything like that, like anywhere but that spot. But I was doing a lot of looking up and seeing what other people do, and I know because I have a jack shaft, it's a little bit different. But when I test rode it with the smaller one over there, it was riding so good, didn't have any problems with the chain coming off or coming loose. So hopefully with this bigger and stronger one, the chain will still be able to stay on there nice and tight and won't wear through the skateboard wheel. Definitely not as quick as the little tiny one. And along with that, I also did a couple other things. I added a different type of mount. Instead of that long one that's similar like that one, I added a little bracket that goes like straight to the frame back there. Way nicer. I also adjusted the clutch and a bunch of other tiny stuff. But I've been trying to get this thing done for you guys. But I definitely want to take it out and try out the new Sprocket system and the chain and the tensioner and everything like that. But before I do, I just want to do one more thing that I didn't get the chance to do just yet, and that is with the shifter. Now, I'm not sure if this is going to work, but I have a feeling it might. This shifter, as you guys know, is fairly new. It's way better than the old one we had, but I don't have enough leverage to really shift this thing as much as I would like to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off the little shift linkage off of the shifter arm, and I'm going to try and get some more leverage on that. I think that might be the key, and I'm basically going to extend it up, adjust the shifter arm to where it needs to be. Probably going to use some of that thick flat bar right there to extend it up a little bit, and then we should have way more leverage on there and be able to move that shifter way nicer. So let's go ahead and get started with that right now. So I just finished up putting the little extender on and hooking it up back to the shift, which I haven't tested yet because I'm going to let the welds cool down a little bit before I put some force on it. But I just want to show you guys some of my weld improvement. Obviously, you know, it looks a little dumb because it's way overextended, you know, obviously because the flat bar is way wider than the actual shifter itself. It's not really focusing that good, but definitely getting way better. I'm definitely laying down some better beats. I mean, better than that old one right there and pretty much all the rest on here. But definitely starting to get them, you know, a little bit smaller. I mean, this circle one is a little bit difficult, but just starting to get there. Practice makes perfect. So I'm just going to let these cool down for a little bit, and then we'll see if it really helped out with shifting at all. And also, over my little break, I rearranged the whole shop. I cleaned out so much stuff, threw a ton of stuff out. It's starting to get a little messy again just because I've been working a good amount in here. But I moved everything around. I put, if you guys remember, I had a bunch of junk just under here. But now I kind of organized it all, put all the engines on the little holder over there. I moved the welder out and put it under there so this can go underneath, because this took up a good bit of space. I had it over here on the side, but now I can walk all the way around the NASKAR and everything like that, and there's definitely like a lot more room to walk around here and work. So right now I want to give this a shot. So right now we are in gear. So let's see if I could get out of gear. Oh yeah, that was definitely way easier, that's for sure. Sometimes I wouldn't even be able to like move it without sitting inside, so I could like put my elbow against something. Sweet. So right now it is currently raining, so what I'm gonna do is just wait for it to stop. I believe it's supposed to stop in a couple hours or so, just because I don't want to get this thing wet because of all the bare metal it has on it right now. But then once it's done raining, I want to go ahead, slide this outside, test out that chain and the shifter and the engine mounts and basically everything I've done over the break, and see how it's running. Also, I've been scoping out a spot to ride this thing on concrete. Now, still trying to find a couple more places just because I don't want to risk this thing getting taken away by the cops or, you know, getting impounded. All of that work would be just gone. Because where I live, they basically get crushed if they don't have a title. And this obviously does not have a title. So it's definitely really strict around here. That's why I don't really risk it. Definitely be on the lookout for that. If everything goes well on this little drive right now, then this thing should be about ready for the streets. We got brakes, it'll be driving and shifting and ready to go. So I'll catch you all in a couple hours once it's done raining. So guys, the rain has let up. It is a couple hours later, but I've had the NASKART on the battery charger, and right now I'm gonna go ahead and pull it out quick before the rain starts. It's still pretty nasty out here, but I'm gonna try not to rip up the grass, cause that would be a muddy mess. But if everything goes well and just, you know, the little cruise around to test out everything back there, I have something in store for you guys that I really want to try out. So I got this thing all pulled out right now. I just filled it up with fuel, so I'm gonna go ahead and prime the fuel, and you guys need to hear how quick this thing starts now. It is insane. So I'm just gonna flip the kill switch and watch this. Not even gonna hit the gas. Oh wait, it'll help if I turn the key. Now, watch how quick. Definitely a little bit cold, but it starts up pretty freaking quick. So it's pretty much all good to go with warming up. I'm not going to bother throwing on the GoPro, just because I'm going to take it around real quick. But like I said, if this all goes well, stay tuned for what I have in store. That makes sense. So, the reason it keeps turning off is not because I'm stalling it. It may seem like I am, but this key keeps turning off whenever, you know, it starts to get bumpy. It's in the on position, and whenever it stalls, I press the start button, it doesn't work. But if I just wiggle this, while my finger's still on the start button, it'll start working. So, we need to figure out a way to keep this, like, all good to go, and somehow, like, keep it sturdy in there without it wiggling around like that whenever the bumps come. But back here, chain still feels great. The tensioner does not look like it was worn down at all. I oiled everything, you know, before, but the shifter feels great. I can actually like shift it, which is awesome. But I'm just gonna try and figure out something right now off camera just to get this to like work way better. And I'll see what I could come up with. So I was able to come up with this just to try and keep some tension on the key, you know, from kind of twisting around. So I guess we'll try this again and see if a little zip tie magic actually works. So that actually worked really, really good. Everything feels really great. The clutch feels amazing. I could come to a stop without it rolling forward, but before this battery dies, because you know how this battery works, what I have right here is a drill bit and a stake. I drove through this little piece of plywood so it doesn't fly away, but what I want to do is push the NASCAR up against here and try a burnout. I've never done this before, so we'll see what happens, but I'm definitely curious to see what happens right now, so let's give this a shot.
So much torque, the chassis twisted coming off the line.
Oh my god, guys. Well, as you guys saw, the engine was shaking like crazy. Everything back here, the whole platform it's sitting on is still good. Nothing's broken, nothing's loose. Tires are warm, oh yeah. Wasn't as big as I really hoped it would be. Obviously, it would be pretty bigger if I got it in a higher gear. That was second gear. I tried doing third, but I didn't pull in the clutch, and it did not like that. As you guys saw, it like kind of revved up and then went into third, but I'm like, you know, I don't want to blow this thing up. So I ended it off there, but I mean, it does a burnout, which is pretty sick. And once I get this thing running a little bit better with some mufflers and fresh oil change, and we're probably gonna end up doing that, the Y form in the carburetors, so this is a Y and that's a Y. We'll definitely have some more power on the top end. Ike from Cars and Cameras actually commented on one of my videos, so that was super cool of him. Super nice guy, but he said definitely throw on some mufflers in there. It'll make it run way better, so we're gonna have to be doing that maybe in the next video. Try and get a exhaust system for this thing, because the one thing that I was wondering about was the noise complaint if I go to the spot that I'm thinking about going to for driving this on concrete, because there's houses nearby. So if I could throw a muffler on that before we go, that might be a better idea. We could probably drive it around for a little bit longer, but I mean, I might throw on some more engine mounts. I mean, I already got 2 in the front, 1 going across the whole rear. I might just support the whole platform it's sitting on off camera. I'm sure you guys don't really want to see that, but support a little bit more, because it was definitely flexing a little bit, as you guys saw. But this is a strong steel. This is the strongest steel I could really find that would be suitable for this, so I definitely don't think it's gonna like kind of warp any of the steel tubing at all. Once again, my welds aren't the best, but I mean, they are pretty strong, and obviously they're not pretty because I don't grind my welds. There's a saying, if you have a grinder, anybody can weld, which is so true. If I grinded out all of these like nice and flat, I'm sure they look so much better. It wouldn't change the strength at all. It would just make it look nicer. But I want to be able to see the improvements from the beginning of the welds all the way to the end, and just really be true to myself in that form. And obviously once we paint it, it'll also look way better. I am beyond stoked that this thing can do a burnout in the state that it is in right now. But if you guys know any places where I could get skinny like exhaust tubing, like 1.5 inches wide, that I can make this exhaust, then definitely let me know down in the comments. I've tried AutoZone and they really don't have a wide selection. Advanced Auto Parts I've also tried. Once again, not a wide selection, but if you guys do know, definitely comment that down below. But anyway, follow my social medias over in the outro of this video, Instagram, Snapchat, I use the most. But thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, comment, tell your friends about the channel.